Okay, what I've decided to do is show you the flocking process. Normally what I do is before this is go and paint my minis and get them all finished, give it a nice coat of anti-shine matte and then flock it. But what I'm going to do just now is I'm just going to show you the flocking process now, before these are painted, just to show you. So what I'm going to do is take my my small dye brush from Games Workshop again, and get these weathering powders. What I'm going to use first is dark earth. Dark earth, I got the whole set of weathering powders from Fort Rock. They're absolutely excellent. I'm a big fan of them. They have so many different uses. One of which is doing very effective, very natural looking bases. So I'm going to go over certain parts of the base with this dark earth. The dark earth I find is the muddiest looking one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of water on our brush, a very little bit of water, because we don't want this to turn into paint. We want a sort of tacky makeup type effect on it. Just a little bit more water here. I want to do this tacky makeup effect on it, so that when we apply it to the base, more water here. There we go. You don't want to add too much water to this because it'll lock in a lot of the moisture from the water, and when you go and spray the army painter spray over the top, you tend to find that you get these, because of the moisture in it, you get these little white effects similar to what super glue does when it dries. So you get the little white crystals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go around here. There's where I think there's going to be mud, and just kind of throw this weathering powder around underneath the rocks. You can also go over these discs. If the polyfill is not quite flush with the discs, you can cheat and hide that with some of this weathering powder, so you can ease the transition. A little bit more over here. There we go. Just gonna apply this under where all the mud and stuff is going to be. Yeah, if you've got any little bits of grey that you've accidentally hit your planks of wood with, just take this stuff and put it over. There you go, and that's it gone. Around the side here. I'm avoiding the rocks and the other basing grit that we put on before here, because the polyfiller is giving me a texture that looks really muddy. It's perfect. So when it's highlighted and dry brush with this grey, it looks like rubble, and after you put this weathering powder over the top of it, it looks like mud. And there's a little bit at the front there. I'm going to cover too. Okay. Now what we've got here is a very sharp contrast between the grey that we've done and the mud. It's just going to go in stone mud. We want to ease that transition a little bit. What we're going to do is to take a little bit of the light earth. Make sure those are closed. I make a mess of your toolbox. I found out the hard way. Clean my brush totally of the previous powder. Just add a little bit of water to my brush and apply some of this light earth. Now this light earth I'm essentially using to highlight what I've done already. Just kind of dragging it over the top very lightly and making a little sort of line here around to ease the transition between the rubble and the mud. So it's like they're on the edge of a road, or they're just walking into a pile of rubble of a house that's just been wrecked. And since I'm going for a sort of Normandy feel to it, then that's ideal. More of a sort of country farmhouse than anything else. Okay, so let's just got a little bit of light earth on there. That's good. So what we're going to do now, the final step to using these weathering powders, is to take my wash brush I did earlier, clean and totally dry, because if these are wet, it's going to tarnish the effect we want here. Now this stuff here is dark sand, and this is very sort of golf course bunker, kind of light sandy kind of colour. And what we're going to do with that is just take a bunch of it, so it's very, very powdery, and just kind of put it in between all these rocks around the edge where it changes from mud to rock. Okay, the rocks at the front. What this is going to do is going to make these rocks look really natural. So once you've done that, first you close your wedding powder before you start blowing on it, and just give it a light blow to get rid of any excess, and you've got a sort of sandy kind of effect. You can take your brush again once you take off some of the wedding powder and just go around to make it look kind of dusty. And there we go. What we then do at this point is take my anti-shine matte varnish and give it a coat just to seal that. But before I do that, I'm going to take some Games Workshop PVA. Now, Games Workshop PVA I tend to find is a little bit better than any other kind of cheap PVA that you can get in B&Q, places like that. It is a little bit more expensive, but there's a reason. It tends to go a lot further. If you're doing basing with putting flock straight onto the base, I find it tends to peel off. With the Games Workshop stuff, it doesn't. So I'm going to take a little bit of this PVA here and just kind of strategically place it where I want my bushes. So maybe just around this disc here. This is another opportunity where you can hide these discs. Of course, you don't want to do it too much because then it looks like your infantry go straight to the bushes, like they don't want their boots muddy. It's not very natural. I'm just putting it places where I think I'd want a little bit of flock. A nice big blob if you want to do a kind of bush effect. It's the type of flock that we're going to use, and I'll show you in a minute. It's quite unique. 15mm. Okay, so that's me. Got my PVA where I need it to be. Off the brush. And the flock I'm going to be using is Gale Force 9 Spring Undergrowth. This is used for a marshy kind of effect in 28mm, but this kind of spongy stuff that comes in it is perfect for bushes for 15mm. It also comes with this kind of dusty stuff as well. It's kind of two flocks in one. So what I'm going to do is just take the spongy stuff first of all and just kind of place it on top of my blobs of PVA glue that I made earlier. I'll move that back so you can see it. Just place it onto my blobs of PVA, the big ones. Give it a tap, get rid of any of the excess. And what you can do at this point, it's maybe not enough. What you can do at this point is just take your brush and push this spongy flock into your blobs of PVA, so that's going to stick. Push that into that one there. You also find that some here, especially that one, there's still some PVA glue showing through. This is what we'll want, because the next step here is to maybe tap some of this out. So we've got a lot of this other flock that's in here, the sandy stuff, and just kind of throw it underneath. Tap upside down. Give it a good coat. A lot of time what some people do as well is just kind of leave it like that with the PVA glue to dry, and then you're sorted. But I'm impatient. Just put this down here. And there we have it. We have our flock on our base. We're strategically placed bushes, walking over the rubble and our planks. Looks a little bit odd with unpainted miniatures. I'm going to be uploading some pictures of my army on the kingdomofadventure.co.uk website. I'll post a link to it after this. But that's basically it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me or leave a comment. Your feedback is appreciated. I'm Kaz from Kingdom Adventure. Thanks for watching.